Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Rockstars News. I'm Erik Voss.
Oh, it's Sam Bashor over here.
Hi there, Maude Garrett in this chair.
Oh.
And this is a weekly roundup of all the big news that has come out in the nerd world. And guys, what a week it has been. I have never seen so many trailers drop within a 7-day period. Of course, we had the big game on Sunday where we had a couple things, but it's like everyone was like going all in from the different studios. Like, oh, you have a Deadpool trailer? Well, I got a Venom trailer that's not ready to release yet, but here it is.
Anybody got visual effects? We got something we can play with.
Some images of Tom Hardy jogging in the woods that we're really anxious to get
Really
out
feels
there.
like a movie with Tom Hardy in it.
I thought it was going to be Tom Hardy's back and neck. Because
Yeah.
that's what you just saw. Just walking.
Yeah.
Walking through. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to dissect and break those down, though.
Oh yeah. We got in-depth breakdowns on all of the trailers that have come out in the past week that are separate videos on this channel. So like go click and
Please
find
go
them.
watch them.
Some are already out. Some will be out very soon if they aren't by the time you're watching this. But in this video, we're going to watch all these videos and just react to them and give you what our first takes are, what we think this movie is going to be, how excited we are to go into this movie. So let's
watch
jump
away.
in. Let's jump in.
What's the first trailer?
The first trailer dropped during the big game. This is a surprise Avengers Infinity War 30-second TV spot. So let's take a look.
So this is it. It's all been leading to this. Ready? Let's go.
That's your nerdgasm.
Ooh, spooky.
Ooh, I will
Okay.
say right now that was my favorite trailer from the big game. There were a lot of good ones, but that was the one I rewatched multiple times.
But
Yeah.
I feel like they're not really saying anything. There was another one that was released. I think it was dialogue from all of the major heroes, and it would linger over their face when they were delivering the line.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you kind of get a vibe. So you know that Scarlett Johansson's now blonde. Well, no more
What could
Natasha
that mean?
redhead. Like little snippets like that, new looks, Cap's beard, those particular things. But at the same time, you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Vision is human-ish.
Well,
So you
yeah.
have like a few questions like that, but in terms of storyline, you really have no idea. You're left in the dark unless you know like the Infinity Wars trailer concept, which I kind of think is refreshing because so many trailers
nice.
you watch and you're like, well, I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
The main thing is, hey, everybody. It's like, hey, its slogan is Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, everybody.
Everybody's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except maybe Hawkeye and Ant-Man. But they're there somewhere.
They're there.
Right? Archer
They're
ranges, just practicing that move from Civil War over and over again.
They tried so hard
Yeah.
to make Hawkeye more popular with Age of Ultron, and I liked his stuff in that, but it didn't do too well.
Yeah, but I agree with Maude that this it's light on plot. I don't know how much we need to know. This is what I loved about this 30-second spot is, I mean, you can see in our breakdown that we did of it. There's about as much like interesting like detail in it that if you're really looking hard, that would be in a full length trailer. So like it does as much to get you excited. This a lot of people were talking to us about Tony Stark's new armor, which a lot of people compare to the Bleeding Edge armor in the comics. It's each time in these movies, it looks like the armor assembles in some new way, and I liked how similar it looked to the way the vibranium armor assembles on Black Panther. It'll be interesting to see if there's some kind of connection there.
I kind of hope that his glasses like disappear into his suit too, because he's taking them off. Like if you like put them somewhere, and like because it's growing over him, like it can do whatever it wants. Also, one of my favorite shots is Thor looking up. There's a lot of really cool. There's a very cool cinematography in this. I don't know why it's such a simple shot. Nothing's happening. Looks like he's staying on a keyboard. But like it's
like that scene from Big, but instead of a different keyboard.
But the universe is dying instead. I do like that they're withholding a lot of stuff. Also, I like that they're showing that this is much bigger than any one person, specifically with Spider-Man's in space. Like he's in space. There's nothing he can do. Like if he tries to jump, he might die. Like that's what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I like that this is, everyone's going to need to help each other out. That's New York down there.
Yeah, what a crazy...
He was on a school bus just moments before.
Right.
Seconds ago.
Jumped up there, put on his
Swink.
old suit, and it
He's
zipped
not gonna
up
be
in
able
the
to breathe
stratosphere.
soon.
No, yeah. I love this over. It reminds me of like when the that Red Bull super jump,
That's
you know,
right.
and you could
Super
just
squirrel.
you could see the curvature of the Earth. They put a lot of thought into how these things would be storyboarded. Yeah.
The
And
whole
human
purpose of
vision.
this.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the whole purpose of this movie we know is that Marvel's done such a good job telling origin stories, fleshing out all of these heroes. We know so much about them. So now it's this, all right, and you're all together. So you're going to have those massive nerd payoff moments where you're like, oh my God, Thor was meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy crew. Ah! So like those, the teams that you've never really seen in the same room before. And I think that's how you can re-excite a fandom is by giving them, separate and now together, and they're going to be the key moments. And you've already seen that in this movie, with that the original shot where everyone's running, and you're like, wait a second, that's
cool.
Black Panther, Hulk's back there, you got
Cap.
Bucky.
Yeah, they're all there.
There's so many cool little Easter eggs in that, and I do like back it up just a little bit. There was a shot that was just like it was just screaming at me. It's just like, oh cool, now you get to see the mix of both like tech and magic together.
Oh,
what's he
Stephen
doing?
Doctor Strange and Iron Man.
Yeah, like he's making a shield, and then Iron Man just blows right through it, like kind of knocks him over maybe.
Right.
Like,
It sounds like he looks
He
like
could
he's
be
kicking
looking
over the
out.
sandcastle a bit
Could be
there.
looking at street directions.
maybe, but I think it'd be kind of cool if he was maybe like enhancing his suit to do something else. Like you want to see those kind of like power team ups.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if it's like one guy setting up the football for the other one to punt, or the other one is like, no, don't use this spell. You don't know what it's going to do. That's my friend. Don't do this. Yeah, it's hard to tell whether they're working together or
And there's two
infighting.
right there. So you don't.
Yeah.
There's somebody else that's standing right next to him. So who could that be? Is it
Ooh, yeah, Wong maybe, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this is going to take place after Black Panther, so it'd be interesting to see what happens in the Black Panther movie that carries over into this one as well. I have theories.
Yeah,
Like I said.
theories.
I'm just amazed to see that Disney spent millions and millions of dollars just on this 30-second spot, and they already know we're gonna see this movie. Like we know we're. I'm more excited for it, but it's not like it. They
it didn't
turned
enhance it.
right. It didn't enhance it. It's like, did you really
get?
get the return on investment for spending this much money?
They just
during
wanted
the big
there. They're
game?
like, yeah. We don't even need to do 30 seconds during the Super Bowl, and we already know that you're gonna go see it. So
I like the expanded one. I think the bigger trailer was like 3 minutes and 16 seconds, which is almost a whole full minute longer than the average trailer that's released. So
Yeah.
it's like they're just packing it in. And again, it's like disjointed little clips. It's not progressive plotline.
Yeah. Well, we have breakdowns for both the Avengers Infinity War big game TV spot and the trailer that came out back in November. So make sure to go watch them for deeper dives into all the details that you might have missed. But for now, let's move on to the next trailer to come out this week for Solo: A Star Wars Story, something we've been waiting to see for months and months and months. Finally, they released it. They released a shorter teaser during the big game, and then a longer trailer the following day on Monday. I'll say I kind of enjoyed the big game teaser a bit more, but we got a bit more information in the more extended trailer. So let's take a look.
Yeah.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Bad boy.
I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own. I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew. You in?
That's yes.
I might be the only person. Who knows what you really are?
What's that?
Get ready.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
All right. Yeah.
we
So,
all
thoughts?
agree that Lando's the best, and I
Yes.
really want a Lando movie really bad. I want Donald Glover to be Lando
I
forever.
kind of wish
Yeah.
they they've just edited the movie and they've just kept all of his scenes and everything else and just kind of like switched it around a bit. The actual Han Solo moments are my least excited moments like of the trailer. I just
Yeah, actually, totally. I think the Lando moments, the other droid that's going to be going with them on whatever this mission is, I think whatever his like little mannerisms and everything, it looks puppeted, which I think is also a very fun touch.
Yeah, it looks very practical as opposed to CGI, and we don't really know too much about this droid. I believe its name is L337, which is like kind of elite reference for nerd geek
I wish you just like poured out all this information. It's like, we
don't
only know his
too much,
name, where he's from before. He's actually in these extended comics. Like
they keep saying L337. I'm like, that has to be a joke. That can't be. I don't know.
That's
but
like a 10-year, 15-year
yeah, it feels like what they nicknamed it on set. They're like, well, we just called it elite. But anyway, I love the little synchronized salute there. We found that was something that Billy D. Williams did in the earlier Star Wars trilogy.
To Neen Numb in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I have a huge distaste for Neen Numb. It's the constantly wet lips.
Yum.
That he has.
Yum. Yeah. Well, as for this trailer, I think we were talking before it. Sam, you mentioned how you like the way it's edited more than what's in there. What was that for this? Yeah. What I think.
It's like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, yeah. It seems really fun. I like the last 15 seconds a lot. I think Alden Ehrenreich's take on Han Solo in those final shots is probably better than what I saw in the rest of the trailer. He's kind of saying, hey, we're fine. I think that's almost a direct pull from something Han Solo said in the original movies. And just that big goofy space squid thing just feels very Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, it's space. They don't need to breathe in space.
I hope it's more Empire Strikes Back and not Phantom Menace in the underwater scene. There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I can't stand though. I want to be a pilot.
I want to be a pilot.
That's not what Solo sounds like.
Well, that's not what the Solo we know. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that like it's still young Han Solo. He's not Han Solo yet. I even had a theory in the breakdown that maybe his name might not even be Han Solo in it. They don't say Han in any of the promotional footage, which is not saying much. They just released a teaser and a trailer. No one calls him Han. It's just called Solo, and all like the descriptions of these videos and the promotional releases, they only call him Solo in it. I'm wondering if like it's going to start the story. He's going to be like another one of these anonymous like from nowhere heroes who gets his name and creates his identity in it. Just a fan theory, man.
I enjoy it. I didn't really feel I like the ticking of the music until it got to the weird like fast. It felt like someone really quickly dilated the sound and like the speed of the Star Wars theme song and put it over the Solo title card.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan of that. And you did say you liked the last 15 seconds with what he was saying, but like it's like the camera lingered on him too long. He was like, what's that?
Oh, I didn't like that part.
Like, it was just like, move, go away. Don't show me this. What's that?
Yeah. That was one moment that it was weird that they kept the camera on the actor for that long because that moment did not work for me.
Is it supposed to be like him dropping that, like the facade of him being like confident? Like
dropping the scoundrel and he's actually a little kid who doesn't know what he is yet. But I don't know, if you're going to give an acting moment to one of your leads in a trailer, it has to be one that really works. Like Donald Glover got so much more out of just that little grin and the way he was sitting. I'm like, that is Lando. And I didn't get that with Han. Yeah.
Lando's going to act circles around Alden.
Alden.
Right.
It just make sounds until you get there.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing so far, and I think that's the real problem. You know, Kiri, what's her name? Daenerys Targaryen.
Oh, Emilia Clarke.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, she's kind of only really done like a handful of movies and
Sarah Connor.
The show. So it's like, is she going to be able to lift him up as well? And I have a feeling if Lando's only in a little bit of it and not like the entire thing, I don't know. I just think that Disney is like, ooh, should have made a Lando movie.
I think Alden Ehrenreich's task is a lot tougher, to give him, some slack here. Like Billy D. Williams created such like a simple, a bit less dimensional of a character than Han Solo is. A character who we've seen explored not just in the 3 original films, but in The Force Awakens and all this expanded universe now Legends content that. Lando you have a lot more freedom just to kind of do a simpler kind of take on, this is what Billy D. Williams did. He showed up, he was cool, and I'm just going to do my take on that. Not to,
and then you thought he portrayed Han and
Yeah.
didn't betray Han. Like, I don't know, it's kind of chunky, full of good story, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying with it's like Lando, you've got a lot more to play around with and a lot more flexibility with the character because we have had, more than 3 movies, I think 4 movies with Han Solo, and you've seen him, be the original Han Solo and then the Papa Bear Han Solo. The problem is if all of your movie is banked on a person and a character that has existed and Harrison Ford is still alive today, you need to get the perfect person to cast that.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've done that.
I don't know if it's possible. I mean, we'll see. I think Alden Ehrenreich has potential. I think he could surprise us.
It's good to stay positive. I thought
Right.
Taron Egerton had a great, suave look to him, and he basically just add a wig to Taron Egerton. They look like this, kind of the same dude. So, I thought maybe that would have been.
And one of you guys was saying Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, I liked Ansel Elgort. Just looks-wise, I think they've both even got the
another
chin
weird
scars,
name.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Woody Harrelson's in this movie, guys. He's always great.
Yes,
he's in
is.
every movie.
Played this character in the Hunger Games.
And
Right.
And that's who he is. It was very easy.
True
for
Detective
him.
a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, let us know what you think about this trailer, and go check out our breakdown of Solo: A Star Wars Story. I tried to translate some Aurebesh, which is always fun.
Was it a bit of an
Sam's super
Aurebesh?
excited about it. But yeah, it's if you look, there's a Mandalorian helmet in there with some Aurebesh letters that I could use your help translating. I'm not much of a translator on that, but
in comparison to Avengers, did you prefer Avengers over Solo or Solo better than Avengers?
Avengers, yeah,
Great,
I think
cool.
that's
Avengers
I think we're all in
Assault
agreement there. But let's move on to another trailer that came out during the big game, one for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We got a trailer for this back in December. They released another trailer. Sam did a breakdown of it that is on our channel. You can go watch. But for now, let us take a look.
This is just straight up horror.
Spooky.
I've missed it. That just feels so out of proportion.
It's drool.
Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur?
It's my dog.
We don't really believe it. It's like a miracle. Something's coming.
It's the T-Rex. It's the T-Rex.
It's not in my
It's not
heels.
a T-Rex.
Blue, come with me. You know you can't stay here.
Jurassic World, the island,
It's him.
You're all right. Easy, girl.
all of that is in the past.
Am I dead? Not yet, kid.
I want to show you the future.
What is that thing?
They made it.
Blue.
You need to get us out of here.
It's a little all over the place when you think about it. Like you've got horror themes at the start, and then that ended on comedy, and then you had action blockbuster in there, and then it's just like.
To be fair, so is kind of Jurassic Park. It's very scary. It's the
That's
first
actually,
one's
you're so
very
right.
very
It's
scary.
scary. It's comedic. It's a little all over. We love
It
it.
was
It's
sexy.
part of our childhoods, and for some of you before your childhoods. But I think this. I'm excited.
This trailer's it's got it all.
Right. It's got
Yeah.
everything that you liked
that
about it.
works, yeah.
I need them to stop screaming. I will really tune out from a movie fast. I like the joke that he screamed. They lined it up with the Tyrannosaurus. Fun joke. And then immediately
moments
she does it
later,
again.
yeah.
And I'm just stop. I'd scream too if I was falling off a cliff.
I just want her to be a better character. She was actually the weakest part from the last Jurassic World movie I found.
A lot of the characterization in that movie is really not great. Even Owen, but she, come on, put on some sneakers. You're running around an island. Come on, that's not fair.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're moving on with the kids. I think the two boys were my least favorite part of the first movie. This kid, he can scream. Could be.
I wish it was Jake Johnson though, because he played the techie. This guy's the techie guy
yeah.
because he's in front of a computer. That's what it looks like. I did the breakdown. And Jake Johnson played the same role, glasses,
great in
everything.
the last movie.
And he's an actually really funny actor. To be fair, I don't know who this guy is very well. His character's name is Franklin. But I'm excited for the movie. It is a Lost World though. They're taking the dinosaurs off the island, and then you can see a bidding war happening, which is what happened. They moved them to a park, but now they're just going to sell them off. It's a very similar movie.
It's literally repeating the first trilogy.
I love Lost World. That's my favorite
Is
Jurassic
that
Park.
right?
It's so you get a dinosaur running around San Diego. That's the coolest
Is that
ever.
Vince Vaughn and Julianne Moore?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn as Prime.
Yeah.
He's always in his prime.
Prime. I thought his character's name was Prime. I'm like, don't hate that
Optimus.
name. Yeah.
You know, kind of like the Solo trailer, they used John Williams' old score in this new way. I feel like in 15 years, we're only going to hear John Williams music in these movies, or Michael Giacchino doing a sampling of John Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
15 ways.
Yeah, I like it better in this trailer than I did in Han Solo. I felt like the Star Wars main theme was a little weirdly used, whereas this I like
do
it
want
at
to
the
weigh in on
beginning.
the Star Wars theme, though. They did a very similar thing with the Clone Wars, where it's like they just kind of changed the beats of the music, and it was the same song, but like not what you expected. And you're like, so you kind of get used to it. And I had that same feeling with what they've done now. But yeah, if you're not used to it, the first time I heard the Clone Wars trailer, I was like, it's just wrong. And then you're like, okay, it's
You get
it's
used
an
to it.
adaptation of it. So
The music box version of the theme, though, I really like because it's like Universal kind of leaning into their monsters and their horror movies. Because them and Blumhouse, they make all the horror movies that are so popular. I like they're even operating on a dinosaur, which is exactly what they did in Lost World with the little baby T-Rex. Like they're shot for shot. I'm totally fine with that though. Why would Chris Pratt need to jump through a T-Rex's mouth to get out of anywhere? Was he behind it? Like, come on. Why?
I know why, because he was coming down the hall and then they were like, which
It's
is
a
what they
box,
do.
though.
And then he was coming back and he's like, whoa, gotta get past. And he's like, wah. And
He
he's
must
so
have
smooth.
known the T-Rex was in there, though. So go on the outside of the box.
He's the hero. Duh.
Yeah, you
Okay.
cannot apply logic to any of these
No, no.
characters'
It's
behaviors, and even in the first Jurassic Park, like people are just all over the place.
Fun little Easter egg, because I point out in the video. But if you watch right here, when
in the bedroom with Owen and the girl.
They call him the Indoraptor. When it walks in, if you go a little further back, it walks in, it steps down on some toys, and I think that's a T-Rex, and I think that's like a fun little nod to this one's scary.
Yeah.
This one's a big one.
Oh god, that's fun.
Going with what you're saying with the music box function, I actually think Westworld did that a lot better with that.
The piano.
Ooh, the runaway. Actually, we'll move on to that. But let us know what you think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This you can check out Sam's trailer breakdown for a lot of goodies.
I'm very excited by it.
Yeah, and we talked about the first trailer when it came out. And yeah, let us know what you think. Quick comparisons to what we've seen so far.
Still not as good as Avengers.
Still a
Fan
little
service
on
is going to just be too much.
It seems
but
a lot of
this
fan
is doing
So
wonders
much
for
It's
fan
probably got the
service.
most views of the different trailers that we're talking about.
Wasn't
But
it 17 million?
yes, something way up there for sure. But yeah, let's move on from, I guess, one Michael Crichton-inspired terrorizing theme park to another one, Westworld.
What a great thing to be known for. Is he made all the spooky theme parks.
Yeah. So Westworld Season 2 trailer released by HBO with a release date April 22nd. Very excited about it. Let us take a look.
See? Same note as Avengers.
Look at this world.
Wasn't it? It sounds like a Kanye song.
This
actually.
It is a Kanye. Yeah, it's Runaway. Yeah. That's a bit like a Kanye song.
I was like, wait a second, this is
We
very
built this world together.
Well, now I feel like
A world where dreams come true.
No, the muscles were playing, but they're not.
A world where you can be free.
Wait a minute.
This world is a lie.
It's all a lie.
This world deserves to die.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, but which
Because
one
this
is
is
it?
your world. We've lived by your rules long enough.
Keep your
We
shoes
can
on.
save this world. We can burn it to the ground. And from the ashes, build a new world. Our world.
She can see us.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so that is Kanye West's Runaway. We have a trailer breakdown coming out very soon that digs into what the song means and a couple things that you missed, so keep an eye out for it. But guys, what do you think?
I actually like the edit of this trailer a lot. You have a very, very, very slowed down portion of what I believe would be just one episode. All in all, it'd be about 6 seconds of this one episode, but they've stretched it out and then kind of like interjected little bits throughout it. I think that's very clever. Westworld's always been visually stunning. And that's great. I always just wondered at the end of season 1 for Westworld, it's like, well, yeah, you're going to expand a park or make different ones, but the story kind of was so complete that where do you go now?
Well, the whole point of the movie and the book was that the robots immediately revolt like that. There's no build up of like this
you don't see how it happens. You don't see it opens where the park starts going amok in the first 15 minutes.
So the story hasn't started yet. So it's like there's still a whole book and even extended things to go through in the retell. So there's a lot, but I don't know. This show was really hyped up for me, so I watched it after everyone was done talking about it. So it didn't grab me like a lot of other shows do. I'm still interested because of this character,
Maeve, Tandy Newton.
Yeah, she's amazing in this show. So I just want to see more of her doing things.
She is great. I like. I can't get enough of this show. I wish that we had done episode by episode breakdowns. We were able to get in some deep dives into the timeline of it. For those of you who don't know, there are some fun, complex timeline storytelling that's going on. It is a Nolan production. It's Jonathan Nolan. It's Christopher Nolan's brother.
Wasn't Abrams in it?
And J.J. Abrams, executive producer. Lisa Joy Nolan, who's an amazing writer as well, is a co-creator of it. Jonathan Nolan actually cut this trailer. He produced it. He was behind he wrote the dialogue for it. He storyboarded all of it. So you can tell the difference with trailers where the creator of the project is actually behind them versus like most trailers that you see on TV and the internet are cut by different post-production houses who specialize in this kind of thing on like finding
The Holiday with Cameron Diaz.
Right.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's what I always think of when everyone says like they make trailers. Yeah.
Right.
John Krasinski back there. On a screen.
And we saw Suicide Squad where there was a production house who cut a new movie essentially. They did such a good job on that trailer, the Bohemian Rhapsody, that they gave them all the footage of the movie to recut it. Yeah, it didn't totally work out there. But this definitely does feel like an auteur created this. This is totally consistent with the show, beautifully crafted trailer that presents some interesting mysteries that you had mentioned Samurai World. That was one of the things promised at the end of last season. I do believe there is a shot of it that we see in this trailer. I won't tell you where exactly. Got to watch the breakdown for it. But there's a lot of fun stuff that does call back little lines of dialogue from the first season. The charging bulls is a reference to something that I go into. This whole show, I think, asks more questions than it answers. I think that's a big concern I have with it as a series going forward. We saw with a show like Lost, the first season was so great because as a storyteller, it's easier to ask the question than it is to present the answer.
That's all J.J. does.
It's what J.J. Abrams does best, and I think he believes in the whole idea of the mystery box that we never need the answer, but I think we do need the answer. The first season,
because we get really antsy.
Right, that's the whole point of storytelling. You got to deliver on the promises that you make, and I think the first season did deliver on enough promises. I hear what you're saying, Maude. It did feel like a really complete story. I don't know if I would need a second season of it. As a fan, I want it. I want to see more of it. I want to see all these actors and these writers tell us more of these stories and what happens next.
But if it didn't continue, it does end on a very interesting note.
Right, and a very profound statement about artificial intelligence and humanity. So as long as they're able to deepen this mystery, I'm okay with it. It looks like they might be jumping around a bit with different timelines, but I don't need more of that. I don't need hey, the scene that you're thinking is taking place in this timeline, it's actually taking place 30 years earlier. Don't need it more of that. That's something they did with Lost in the 4th season, where it's hey, this stuff that you think's taking place in the past, it's taking place in the future. And at this point, I think the fans who are watching the show are smart enough to see that kind of stuff coming. So, of the trailers that we saw aesthetically, this is my favorite.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
But it depends on your feelings on the first season of Westworld, on how excited this gets you, I would say.
I'm fairly excited. But Avengers is still my favorite trailer.
Avengers is still the top for me too.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from a trailer for season 2 of one show to season 2 of another show. Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
With a fantagram happening with the music.
Oh, yeah. This is a trailer that I'm very excited for. It aired during the big game, and let's take a look. Or no, it aired actually after the big game during the week, but let's take a look.
Hold on, the fantagram song is also Run Away.
Is it?
Yeah, that's 2.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Third glass tonight.
Put it on my tab.
You drinking to remember or forget?
Giving it won't get you a better tip.
I was feeling sad. Can't help looking back. Highway.
My whole family was killed in a car accident. Someone did horrific experiments on me. And now this super vigilante keeps coming at me.
Do you know Captain America?
I want to absorb Ailey's investigations.
You don't want me, you just want to eliminate the competition.
I never take no for an answer.
How rapey of you. Something happened behind these doors. I have 17 years of questions, and they are deep.
Just knowing what was done to you might help you.
We were made here. Me and something else. The only way to find it is to open the door wider.
You were brought back from the dead. The powers were a side effect.
How many others are there? Like me?
Let it go. There is a killer you cannot control.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Jessica might not want a sidekick, but she needs one.
You're not super. You're a ticking time bomb.
Keep telling me who I am. How dare you? What if facing it makes me worse?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Depends on if I can get through this night without losing my
Jessica Jones!
It takes a monster to stop a monster. What did they do to us?
All of anything.
Very conjuring with the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
lights out. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. Jessica Jones is, of the Marvel Netflix world, my favorite series. I mean, I like all of them for different reasons. I don't like all of them, but
Iron Fist,
we don't need to say that we like Iron Fist. But I really love Jessica Jones. I love the aesthetics of the show. I love the use of color in the show. I love the characters theme, especially the villain Kilgrave.
He's the best
got a little
villain
wink at.
we've seen on television.
Maybe in all of the MCU.
Yeah.
I would say he might.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't technically MCU, but in the Marvel adaptations that we've seen, I really love Kilgrave, but I love Jessica Jones. I love the side characters on the show. It's
the most heartbreaking. It had the most twists and turns of anything because it's just like, how utterly frightening is Kilgrave? It's like, and it's like, it's such a great idea. It's like, what if you could get whatever you wanted? It was just like, that's basically the premise. Yeah. And it's like, but if I can't get what I want, somebody else can, and they had that their entire life. They have no grasp of how reality works. Anyways, that's the premise of the first season of the show, so you can go watch that. This, Jessica Jones, I don't know if I said this on or off camera, but she has very few comics out there for story like to be explored. She was in the background of a lot of other stories, or she played a supporting character like spoilers in comics. She and Luke Cage end up getting together, and so whenever Luke has a story, she usually shows up in it as well. But it's like you don't get to explore too much. So the idea of exploring where she got her abilities has never been touched on. It's always just been like, there was an accident, she got them, she lost her family, and then we move on from there because it's more about her trauma, not about what she can do. And that's what's been so compelling about it. But using it as a tool of her trying to like explore what happened to her family, or trying to deal with that, dealing with her grief or PTSD, which is what I'm guessing is what's happening with Kilgrave, unless there's some stuff I put in my breakdown that could lead to some other fun stories for Kilgrave, because David Tennant's amazing, and I'm so glad that people who didn't watch Doctor Who now know how good of an actor he is because of Jessica Jones. So I very much hope that he comes back. But
yeah, and I just hope a lot of people watch the show. We don't really know what the ratings are because Netflix never really tells us how many people watch whatever shows. I worry that not as many people are watching Jessica Jones as people who are watching other Netflix shows, and they definitely need to check this. I'm so glad they're doing a second season of it.
It's the only Marvel Netflix show to get an Emmy win. Yeah.
Oh, what did it win for?
It won for Best Theme. Opening
yeah. Oh, the opening credits are so well edited.
Yeah. That's like the trademark covers that they would do. It's one artist that does them, and oh man, it's a very good intro.
Great.
But anyways, she still won an award, so it counts.
Yeah.
For me, the first half of this trailer was actually way too vague. It's saying a few blips and pieces, but it's kind of throwing this at you, and you're like, oh, I don't know how to be invested in this, because it didn't really kind of provide enough exposition if you hadn't seen season 1, which is what I think it needs to do, especially when you're putting out a trailer like this big week. It's fresh eyes on a new thing. But for me, the second half really delivered.
Yeah.
So it's like what oh.
Yeah.
And I think it did a really good job with that. You're not just invested in Jessica Jones, but who is this blonde girl that wants to be the sidekick? That kind of expansion on it all. The only problem is when you have sorry to be all negative Nancy again, but when you have a protagonist that doesn't give a shit, that kind of is defeated and depleted, and turns to booze to kind of self-medicate. For me, it's really hard to stay along for the ride because it's almost masochistic, because this person is putting themselves through all of this like numbing situations, or like they're not looking after themselves, and I actually struggle to go along with that. I remember reading Scar Tissue, and there's another one, I think it was like Sugar Man, or a book like that, which is all about people that have drug abuse issues, and I feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just really kind of hard to, come on, sport, let's go. What's next episode? It's just like, no, she constantly gets kicked when she's down. So I kind of want her to care a little bit more, and it sounds like we're going to get that with trying to find out about her family and how she got the powers. I
have a fun theory for who that woman is that she's talking to, and then if you watch, ends up kicking into that door. So if she could take a kick from Jessica, I think she might have more to her. There's a very fun like name connection thing that happens in this trailer, and from just reading the Wikipedia, it's very fun. Anyways, watch the breakdown. What are you doing?
Just
go watch it.
If it's not on the channel yet, it will be very soon. You're right. She definitely does get kicked through a door.
That's her, same bar, And whoever this guy is, the kind of shady guy, the creepy guy, he's there's literally his character name and everything has not been released yet. So it's very interesting to see what he does. I like his characterization, that he seems very slimy.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you think of this trailer. Go check out Sam's breakdown. And back for season 1. This channel actually did do a couple videos about Jessica Jones that you should absolutely go check out. I think it was before I was here. So go check those out. Let us know what you think. For now, let us move on to another trailer that came out this week for Deadpool 2.
Sorry,
this was titled Meet Cable, introducing us to Josh Brolin's other Marvel adaptation character. This guy is going to be all over the place in the month of May. Let's take a look at this not safe for work trailer that we're recreating field goal posts for, whatever this is.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you explain a joke again?
I have to explain. Let us watch.
I love it.
All right.
I was born into war, bred into it. People think they understand pain, but they have no concept of it. What's the most pain you've ever felt? Maybe the kind that leaves you more machine than man.
Wait, no, stop! What in the actual ass? Dale, why are the visual effects not done? It's a metal arm. It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache.
Hey.
Do it myself.
I'm Cable, and I'm from the future, and I like blowing up.
Pew, 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 pew. Reach for the sky!
Oh no, Sheriff Deadpool.
You know, you're a lot taller in the...
Shut up, you little asshole. Take this.
Oh! Regeneration powers, activate!
That's not something you said.
Zip it, Cable!
I got the stones to help you.
No! No biting. They're done already? Oh, wow, that was unrealistically fast.
Infinity Stones.
Okay,
Yeah.
hit it.
Let's get his metal arm. So cool. Oh, yes. Love it.
Ricky Baker.
That's it, Ricky Baker.
Your time's up, you dumb.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
Great. So yeah, this is super fun.
This is
what super fun means, guys. This is I had forgotten how fun the marketing campaign for the first Deadpool was until I see these trailers. Like, these are almost like non-trailers and how fun they are. Like,
remember they did the rom-com poster
right,
in
it was on
downtown LA.
Valentine's
Totally
Day.
forgot about that. That was amazing.
So fun. And like, when we have another breakdown of this, there's so many like little jokes that we spotted. There's references to Infinity War, to Justice League,
multiple
Toy Story. Yeah, it's all over the place. But what they'll do is they'll do just these bits and then like cram together 20 seconds of like 80 shots of like the action in the movie.
It just little pet peeve. Not that I dislike this trailer in any way. It's just like both of the trailers they've done. It's like funny bit and like really funny, and then like the quickest clip show of something, and I'm like, but I want to see it. But I want you to show me what that is.
But I think that's what we're here for. It's almost as if they
that's our
know
job.
people on YouTube are gonna
Keeping
click
us
through frame by
employed.
frame and explain what everything is, which we did as to our best of our ability.
Beats.
I-
Oh, so great.
When
Domino.
we were doing casting for Cable, I was like, I really like Kyle Chandler. I really like McSteamy as like potentials. And I was like, I just don't know about Josh Brolin because, you know, the whole, he's already been in a Marvel movie kind of deal. But I was
Jonah Hex as well at DC.
really, really loving the look. I think he's going to be a lot of fun. And this balance of having the biggest smart ass the screen has ever seen, biggest type. But no. But also having like this man who's just cranky and just doesn't have like any time for humor. I'm excited.
Yeah, Cable
that
and
juxtaposition.
Deadpool in the comics is such like a brilliant team up because it's the exact kind of like buddy cop style arrangement of someone who takes everything way too seriously and someone who doesn't take anything seriously. So it's brilliant that they're using that. It's almost a no-brainer. If Deadpool worked, this is the next step you would go. You got to show Cable and Deadpool. Yeah,
you need like you kind of had in the first movie, you had Colossus being like the goody, like he's a good guy, and
right, Boy Scout.
as like a foil for Deadpool being who he is. But then you flip it and you get the guy who's way too intense. It's going to take it way too seriously. Like I think we mentioned before when we talk about Deadpool that like Cable has one of the most convoluted histories. It's like his parents are Cyclops, but a clone of Jean Grey, not the actual Jean Grey, but a clone. And then he's from the future where he saved the time, but he got a manufactured technovirus. That's why he's got metal arms and stuff. It's like, that's not a robotic arm. He grew that. And it's like...
Right.
It's just, and the teddy bear's from a baby he raised, but it was technically his like clone. It's like, oh my god, it just keeps going and going.
Right. It is the most like convoluted. It's like the incarnation, or just the perfect example of because comics. Like it's the most bizarre, and they just keep going deeper. I think the writers of these storylines just started having fun. They're like, okay, well, we've already gone this far. Let's just go off the deep end. And I think that was part of the fun of bringing him into the Deadpool universe, which he was already part of, but like into his storylines of like, let's just put him in someone who doesn't care about the continuity. This trailer, I think, is edited so well because it's a true trailer. I don't really know too much about the story here. I know that Cable's coming in. I know there might be some time travel element that probably will just be more made fun of than actually taken seriously.
Or used in a fun way. Like I feel like, and also it definitely seems like a testing ground for X-Force because they're gonna make the X-Force movie with Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds, and like you see them on a plane and you see like Terry Crews, and you can have Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and you had Ricky Baker from which I wish I knew the actor's name.
People.
Yeah. And he's so good. And Zazie Beetz' Domino is so cool. I love her hair teased out. I'm just excited to see her because she's great on Atlanta, and I'm glad that she's getting her due.
Yeah. I think the more fun they can have with time travel in these storylines, the better. I love like Back to the Future Part 2 because they almost had like a meta kind of approach to time travel, whereas the first Back to the Future was like kind of serious about time travel. The second one's like, let's just get silly with it. Yeah. So the way Days of Future Past was pretty serious about time travel, I would love to see this X-Men universe story that's just kind of lighthearted about it.
That'd be actually really funny if they do mess around with it. And
they time travel to like Logan.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You just, like, see how serious that is. And like, okay, getting out of here. Yeah.
Looking old, buddy. You look real bad.
And I like they use some slow-mo here, and I love that opening shot from the first movie where like you're moving through the car accident like in that split second.
Yes.
So cool.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
John Wick director, so the action's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
At the very least, the action's gonna be good. So
yeah. Take a look at our trailer breakdown of this for everything that you might have missed. Let us know what you think about this one in the comments, and let's move on to the final trailer that dropped this week. Our breakdown is now on the channel of Venom, starring Tom Hardy, we have some thoughts on this, but let's take a look at this fan-made trailer. I mean, legit trailer that's not just Tom Hardy in other movies.
Sick burn.
Here we go. Trailer here.
Why? Start with that.
That's Venom. He's in the water.
He's got socks on. I get cold feet too. Relatable.
Yeah. We've opened an hospital.
Is that note again? Ding.
Enormous, just like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yes.
Everyone's got this.
This is my favorite part of the room.
There's his shoulders and neck. Wait for it. There's his shoulders and neck.
Maybe it's a breakup.
Because Ant-Man's in San Francisco too. Does that mean
a death?
I hope so.
Absolutely.
What's under the sheet?
An accident. Whatever it is, you used to be one thing.
Peaceful.
Now, you're something else.
No, he's not peaceful.
I love Terrence Howard's voiceover of this trailer.
I really can't stand the voice.
No, it just sounds like that.
Why is it Tom Hardy?
We all have our own problems.
It's real bad then. Why is he put on the voice? It's like trying to be this
our own issues.
Very open.
No, it's not one of those cars.
Demons.
Oh my gosh.
It's a ghost face you put on a jack-o'-lantern. And a V or 5.
Okay.
I don't mind the logo though. I want
logos.
Because I can be the logo.
Oh,
yeah,
the teeth.
fun.
Oh, I thought you meant the name Venom.
Yeah.
Look,
I think it's trying to be the Dark Knight of the Marvel Spider-Man world.
But it's directed by the guy who did Zombieland, so they're
Ruben
leaning into the
Fleischer.
wrong part of what makes him a good director, or the part that fans like about his directing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the tone of this movie's going to be. Like, Zombieland did kind of walk that line between funny and scary, but this doesn't really feel like either. It feels
I'm
like...
not laughing.
Yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm not particularly scared. I think this is a true teaser. We should say this is a teaser, and I think we've all been a bit spoiled by the idea of like being overloaded with fan service in these trailers, where every shot is full of something. The way that those 30 seconds of Avengers Infinity War was, but this
it's like
just
when
feels
kids
like
get a present at Christmas and then they complain about it. All right, you got a present. All right, it's just socks,
Right.
but socks are helpful.
Venom is happening. Tom Hardy is in it. There's they got a good actor for it.
There's a turd rolling around in a washing machine, and that's got to be the alien, doesn't it? That's what it is.
I mean, I'm Venom.
Yeah.
We can all be Venom. Only if you put a turd in the washing machine, though.
On this season of The Flash, there's the classic catchphrase is we're all the Flash. That makes no sense in context.
So my concern with this one is that we have had so many superhero movies now. We have had over a decade of superhero, more than... When was the first one?
If you consider X-Men in 2000 to be the first of this style
aired
of
in the
superhero.
40s.
Sure,
so
yeah. Tim Burton's Batman in 89.
At least like a decade of solid superhero movies, and what you're seeing with Thor, which was just like, you know what we're doing is not working, let's inject it full of Kiwi humor, you know. And now with Black Panther, it's like no boundaries, let's go all in, let's just, you know,
celebrate
make
culture
it not only a movie but a movement. I just worry because we have had so many Spider-Man interpretations and invigorations that we can't have the same thing. It can't be playing it safe.
Yeah.
And this kind of felt a bit safe in terms
of
it
didn't feel R-rated for sure. And that was kind of, I don't know if it's been confirmed that it's going to be R-rated, but I didn't see any violence. Whereas Deadpool, the trailer, didn't shy away from the violence or the profanity. It celebrated that. Whereas this just feels like this could have been a PG-rated movie. I didn't really get a sense of how vicious or violent this movie's going to be. I mean, Carnage is rumored to be the villain of this movie, and this does not seem like the kind of movie that Carnage would be in.
I think I'm getting a Jason Bourne vibe of him, like on the run with this. You can have it R-rated, you can have it super violent, because it could be like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, which is kind of sometimes what Venom is, where he just kind of like comes out of him and he can't control it. And then what you do is, because this is based on a story where you kind of like a piece of Venom is taken away and they try to make soldiers out of it, so you get Carnage from there. And Carnage is basically like the bloodhound that goes after him, and it's like, oh no, that could be very scary and very violent fast.
But
but
think,
again, teaser, it's hard to like,
right. We shouldn't be too hard on it.
Yeah.
But I think what's clear from this teaser is that the studio is very excited, I think, as we all should be, about Tom Hardy playing this character. It's rare that you see a physical heavyweight of an actor take on this kind of role. And it's Venom is, I'm sure for you, it's one of the most excited about characters from all of comics. So I think we want to make sure it's done right, and I think they nailed the casting for it. I'm excited to see what he can do with it, and I think they want us to be like, no, like just trust us on the visual effects. They'll be there by the time you watch this movie. But Tom Hardy is going to be bringing the psychology of this character to the screen, and that's something we should be excited about.
Actually, just in time, we do have Topher Grace Skyping in with his feedback and thoughts about the movie.
He is fuming. Let's cut to him. Also,
That's
notice...
just not what I would have done. That's just creatively not what I would have done.
On the set of That 70 Show.
Can he get a walk-on cameo at least?
Right. He was great. I liked him. He was the best part of a very muddled movie, Spider-Man 3.
Best part.
What?
Yeah. The dancing was the best part.
Oh my
you crazy?
God. Yeah, best on a completely different grading scale.
Pointing. It's your move. Oh my God. You are Tobey Maguire.
I'm Tobey Maguire, just right there.
Yeah.
Just right then. That bagel boy. I'm just him right there.
Oh boy.
Also, they used the classic Marvel logo and not the new one, not the new Marvel Studios, and so it's like everyone.
Yeah.
That should put.
That's because a fan did it.
Oh, true. They're like, we could only find a high-def version of that.
Or it's because Marvel won't return Sony's calls or tell them what the actual timeline of these movies are supposed to be 8 years later.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Anywho, I think this comes out October. I'll watch it.
I want the tagline to be Eddie Brock and Load.
Yeah.
Like lock and load.
Oh,
Eddie
I was like
Brock and Load.
I thought we were going back to the turd jokes for a second. All right, I was confused.
Because you say it was like a Born Identity.
Ooh, and what are we doing? We're getting nervous, moonwalking out of here.
Give me another shot.
So we agree. Venom, favorite trailer.
Venom, favorite. No. I think I think it might have been a mistake to feel the need to release a Venom trailer. We know the movie's happening. This is a big week, obviously, for trailers. Of course, we're going to compare these to these other great trailers that we got. Why would you need to release a little underwhelming teaser right now? You could have done it 2 weeks ago.
A lot of people were saying they're like, we need a Venom trailer. I'm like, really? It's October when it comes out. Yeah. Get a solo trailer first. We got it. You're happy.
It's
fine.
May, yeah.
Stop screaming.
Well, of all these 7 trailers, which one do you think?
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool was super fun.
Oh, Deadpool. No.
Deadpool, I think, got me the most excited for it. I think Westworld might have been like the most like, this trailer itself might win awards because of the way it's edited.
Deadpool, Avengers, everything else after that. Jessica Jones, everything else after that.
Well, we'll be doing breakdowns. Check out our channel. As I said before, we have breakdowns for all of these. Find all the Easter eggs that you might have missed. And yeah, once these things come out, we'll be doing deep dives and to everything. So let us know what you found to be your favorite of all these trailers. Which ones left you wanting more? Which ones made you think maybe I won't check this out?
We got 5. By the way, I just realized with Black Panther's trailer probably playing during the big game too, or after. That's 5 different Marvel properties, and then two of those are from a different company that's still making a Marvel property.
Yeah. You guys, what a time to be alive. Well, thank you for checking out this video. Make sure to tune in next week for New Rockstars News. It's obviously a very different style of video we're doing this week just because it was such a huge week and we wanted to talk about everything with you guys. But yeah, make sure to follow all of us on Twitter. I'm Erik Voss at EA Voss.
At Sam Bashor. You can follow me there. Also, I got a Captain America First Avenger breakdown coming out on this channel very soon, so look out for that. And then Avengers, it's an MCU rewatch series. It's very fun.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, hi, I'm at Maude Garrett. You can follow along when I talk geeky things and talk with Sam more at Geek Bomb.
Yeah. And guys, next week is...
Can someone say that in their accent, please?
You can follow that at Geek Bomb. Now I'm trying something. I don't know.
Back away from
yeah. Black Panther's coming out next week, guys. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it around. Follow us on Twitter at New Rockstars. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye. Bye.